Welcome back to another edition of the Stogie Review video review. And as usual, I am Walt from thestogiereview.com, and just here to do another weekly cigar review. And as promised, this week we have the Oliva Series G Cameroon, and this is the Bellicoso size. It's a 52 by 5, and common of a Bellicoso. It's got a nice tapered end that's about an inch long. Now, you may remember a little while back I did a review on the Oliva Series G Maduro, and I thought it was a fantastic cigar. And the whole reason behind doing this cigar is just because, as of late, I'm really more of a Cameroon kind of guy. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what this cigar has to offer, because ideally, I really prefer Cameroons over Maduros. You know, if you were to lay out 10 cigars on a table, and one of them happened to be a Cameroon, probably seven times out of 10 I'll pick up that Cameroon, just because I really like the flavor it delivers. So I'm really looking forward to giving this one a shot. This is number 3 or 4 for me. I've had quite a few of them, and been, not to blow the review out of the water, but I'm pretty happy with them so far. So hopefully we won't have any major surprises. I went ahead and just clipped my my Oliva Series G. Took about 5/16 off, a little over 1/4 of an inch, just to get things opened up. And you know, pretty happy with the cut. You know, no breaking of the wrapper or anything like that. And you know, it wasn't fragile or anything when it got compressed and clipped. The pre-light draws is pretty good. You know, it's nice and free. It's not too free. You know, but it doesn't really have any resistance. It's decent, and the pre-light flavors are it's like a nutty kind of a flavor. You know, it's mildly sweet and nutty at the same time, and it has a really mild aroma. And you know, the cigar feels really firm and packed with tobacco. And you know, unfortunately, this is the ugliest of the cigars that I've had. And I guess I really didn't pay close enough attention when I was picking them up from the local shop. But this one's a little pruning on the backside. Really, that's what it really looks like. It's just kind of wrinkly, and you know, I can't imagine that's going to affect the way it smokes. It's most likely due to the cigar being placed into a square form and then pressed, because this is a box press. So you know, you get some loose spots in the back that kind of wrinkle on you a little bit. You know, no big deal. Just a note that, you know, they're there. And there's also a sunspot on the wrapper, which I really don't care for either way. You know, if they're there, they're there. If they're not, they're not. Some places claim that they make the cigar taste better, but really, excuse me, I haven't read anything for or against that. So at this point, it really doesn't matter to me whether they're there or not. And I'm going to go ahead and get to lighting, and then you know, we'll dive in and get into what's going on with this cigar. And I'm about, you know, I'm almost finished toasting. You know, I got a nice even start there. And just as expected, first puff produces a lot of smoke. You know, it's nice and flavorful. It's not really thick like I was expecting, because I got really thick smoke from the other ones. This is a little thin, but then, you know, then again, first puff, you know, 50-50 chance of it being really good. At least that's the way I look at it anyway. It's got a buttery, toasty kind of flavor to it. Very, very mild spice when you can get the smoke through your sinuses. At this point, you know, mild to medium, maybe leaning a little more towards medium as far as the body's concerned. You know, so far it's doing real well for just being lit. So I'm going to kick back for a few and start to get into this a little bit, and then we'll meet back up here again and get down to business. Well, I'm back, and I'm about 3/4 of an inch into the cigar, and things have settled out a little bit. No real major changes. Main flavor is still sort of buttery and toasty, and it's real nice. And the spice is just really mild. You really need to get it through your sinuses to be able to even pick it up. It's just that mild, but it's a nice little added touch to the flavor profile of the smoke when you do get it through your sinuses. The way that smoke feels in my mouth has changed also. Now it's really thick and creamy. Before, on that first puff it was kind of thin, but that really changed after I got 2 or 3 puffs into the cigar. And the finish is about average. When you take a puff, you can taste it on your palate for maybe 2 minutes. It kind of lingers, and it's really smooth and creamy also, so it's not offensive when it kind of lays on your palate like that. And the body's still medium, kind of down towards the mild side of medium. But overall, everything's going really well so far. Nice burn line. Unfortunately, just like the Oliva Series G Maduro, this one does burn kind of quickly. I wasn't going very long, and I did manage to go through the cigar kind of quickly. So these Bellicosos are, you might argue that they are a quick smoke. They don't last very long, but if you're more into the cigars that take a little longer, like generally I like to smoke a cigar for about an hour and a half. This one, I think this will be done in about 45 to 50 minutes. So if I were to, I want to go with that, hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half, I would want to go to the more like a Churchill size or a double Corona, just to get that extra smoke time out of it. So really, at this point, there is not a whole lot to talk about. It's just going really well. Now, just to touch base on what I have smoked recently, and it's been a really, really slow week. I've been really busy running around, still house hunting, and just been really busy running around, taking care of all that. I did manage to sneak in a 5 Vegas Series A last night. And actually, last night I was hanging out with the guys at Cigar Live, and they have this video chat set up. The PC I use doesn't have a webcam set up, but I just use the camcorder. But I had audio only, and it was still a good time. I got to talk to 2 of the Pennsylvania Oliva cigar reps, which were Sam and Dave. And I also got to talk to Daniel, who goes by Stogie on the Cigar Live forums for a little bit. And, it was a real good time. Stogie's trying to get this thing going every Friday night. So you don't need to install any special software. It runs right through your browser. So if you get the opportunity to swing by on a Friday night, I think it starts 8 p.m. Central. So, it really cuts into your nightlife unless you've got a little bit of extra time around. I jumped on, I probably had to be around midnight. And, the guys were just hanging out, so it worked out really well. So and it was a good time. So definitely give that check that out. If you get the chance. And there's always random people on there. Every once in a while, you'll be able to catch someone during the week. So definitely check that out. It's one of the new features that I've seen on a cigar message board, and really I think it's sort of cutting edge and pretty cool. So big high regards to Stogie for taking off with that whole web video chat, straight through the message board. That's great. But I'm going to kick back a little, smoke a little bit more on my Oliva Series G, and I will be back in a few. Welcome back. I'm just starting to get into my I guess I'm about 3/4 of the way past the second third. I'm going to be approaching the final third very soon. And as you can see, the ash is doing real well. It's a nice light color, and I've only ashed it one time, believe it or not. This that was actually the second time I ashed a cigar. So it's holding on nice and firm. It's got a real nice thin burn line. The smoke stays real cool. The burn's nice and even. You've got a little bit of a cone developing on the top, which is ideal. Which is really ideally what you want to see when you kind of hold the cigar up like that. That signifies a very good burn. The draw is still real good. Still produces lots of smoke. It's real nice and flavorful. Just so far, it's been a really enjoyable cigar. And I just we're really happy with it so far. Base flavors are still sort of like a buttery, toasty kind of thing. You get a little bit of a coffee flavor to it, and the finish is sort of going backwards now. Now it lasts like a minute and a half, 2 minutes after you take the puff, and the aftertaste is sort of leathery. When you kind of roll all that stuff together, it makes for a real nice, relaxing cigar, and it's not overly powerful. It's still at the low end of the medium scale, and it just goes real well. It's not real offensive. Now, be completely honest with you, I don't remember if I discussed the actual color of the wrapper in the beginning, because I was kind of trying to kind of flow through everything and get clipped in light while I was still talking. But the color is kind of interesting. It's a little odd when you look at it. When you take it out of the cellophane, it looks like coffee with extra cream in it. So it's sort of like a sort of milky brown looking color. But it's got a sort of a green hue to it, and I just find that kind of odd. But it looks nice. That green hue doesn't kind of throw you off or anything, and it's like a light green hue too. It doesn't look like a Candela and a Cameroon kind of mixed together. But yeah, it definitely looks different than your run-of-the-mill Cameroon, and it does have that little bit of a toothy texture to it, where it's got little bumps of oil on the actual wrapper itself. So. I'm kind of running out of things to say here, but yeah, everything's going real well, and the cigar's constructed real well too. Even though it's not real pretty to look at those kind of wrinkles in the backside in that box press. It had absolutely no effect whatsoever on the way the cigar smokes. Still burns very well, smokes very well, and it was just sheerly cosmetic. And it was actually on the bottom side of the cigar, so you wouldn't have seen it when you picked it up out of the box, just because the band's up. In the boxes, so. You still get that little bit of a spicy flavor through your sinuses too, which which is still pretty good. And man, now I just lost my place. Anyway, let's get off topic for a second, and then maybe I'll remember. A couple weeks back, I got an email from Doc Stogie Fresh, and he was telling me about he was contacting a few people in the cigar sort of press. I don't know. He was looking for a couple brothers of the leaf to write Stogie Fresh journal entries, and I was one of the people that got chosen. Really excited about that, and he asked me, if I would. Be willing to contribute, and I said absolutely, I'd love to. And some of the other contributors are, the only one I remember offhand is George Edmondson from StogieGuys.com. He's written 2 articles, and if you're not familiar with George Edmondson, head over to StogieGuys.com and check out some of George's articles, and even check out the cigar journals, the cigar journal articles over at StogieFresh.com. I've never conversed with George personally, through emails or anything, but from reading his articles, he seems like a real nice guy, and I just can't get enough of his writing style. It's just I don't know, he does a really good job of writing things, and so I was really honored to be kind of pulled in with that crowd. Doc does a real great job of running Stogie Fresh, and I did an article on cigar burn issues, so that will be a Stogie Fresh exclusive. So head on over to stogiefresh.com, click on the Stogie Fresh Journal, and check it out. It was a lot of fun to write. It's quite a lengthy article. Doc is going to be breaking it up into 3 parts, so hopefully it won't bore you to death. But definitely give that a look if you get the opportunity. And with that said, I don't remember what I wanted to talk to you about the cigar, so I'm going to get back to smoking a little bit, and be back one last time just to, overview of the cigar. So see you in a bit. Welcome back, and here I am, about 1.5 inches long. It's just about time to wrap it up. Draw's getting a little tight because tobacco's getting a little hot, and it's just kind of easy to squish it when you try to hold it and puff on it. But even with the draw being a little firm, it still produces real good volume of smoke. It's still nice and thick and flavorful. Base flavor still really toasty and buttery. There's a little bit of a sort of a salty component to it. That leather flavor is gone. The spice picked up a little bit through the final third. You get a little bit more of it when it's coming through your sinuses. And just overall, it's been a very pleasing taste. The finish still lasts, about a minute or two. It's been pretty consistent throughout. It's real smooth and creamy, and the body kind of peaked at medium, just kind of like middle of the road medium. And I'm just really happy with the cigar. Construction's really good. I've got an okay burn rate. It burns a little faster than I would really prefer, but it burns really well. It's nice and even. It stays fairly cool. And the only reason it's getting hot now is just because it's really short, and I'm beginning to work into that tapered head of the cigar. So yeah, I'm just really enjoying it so far. As far as my overall impressions go, I think I paid in the neighborhood of $3.50 for the cigar. I know it was definitely under $4, and at that price point, excuse me, I think that it is a really good cigar. And I know people say this a lot, but I think it'd be a great cigar for the fairly new cigar smoker. And what I mean by that is it's not too mild that even a new cigar smoker wouldn't be able to, or the flavor's not too mild that a new cigar smoker wouldn't be able to taste it, and it's not too much that it is offensive. It's not offensive in any way, shape, or form. The room aroma is nice and mild. The body's medium. It's not too much. It doesn't give you a nicotine kick that makes you feel a little woozy. Overall, it's just a very good cigar. Now, in terms of, which one do I think is better, the Maduro or the Cameroon? Well, I got to give the edge to the Maduro. It's just a little richer, and I just like this cigar a little bit more. That's not to say this is a bad cigar by any means. I'm just really, really impressed with that Maduro, and I think this is a very good cigar as well. So, if you happen to be, in a local cigar shop, or you even see a 5-pack online, definitely worth picking them up just to give them a shot. I really don't think you'll be disappointed by, what the cigar delivers. And just a little bit of a plug here. I got this Bellicoso and a couple more from Kensington Tobacco up in Reading, Pennsylvania. And unfortunately, every time I go in that store, I'm in a rush. I've only been able to kind of run in, run out. I've never really been able to hang out and talk to the owner or just any of the patrons in the shop. So, I really got to force myself to get up there at some point and just talk to them guys. He has a nice variety. I think he carries all of the Olivas, and his price is really fair. And another thanks goes out to Sam, who is the the rep out in the Pittsburgh area for sending me a really nice variety pack of Olivas. He saw the Series G Maduro review, and he wanted me to try some of the other cigars in the line. And that's where I actually had the first Oliva Series G Cameroon. It came out of the sampler that he sent me. So thanks a lot, Sam. Really appreciate it. And just really glad you sent it, because otherwise, I probably would have never picked up any more of the Cameroons, just because this shop I generally go to down in Exton, he only carries the Maduros, and I was really looking to try some of the Cameroons. I just haven't seen them locally, and I'm kind of glad that I did stop into Kensington that day, because it gave me the opportunity to buy some more. Well, that about wraps it up for this week's cigar review. Really don't know what I'm going to smoke for next week. I know that it was supposed to be, I had it on the schedule to be the Casa Terrano by Carlos Terrano, but I've had one so far and just really wasn't into it. And normally I really wouldn't care whether I was into it or not. If it was on the schedule, I'd still smoke it for the review. But I'm a bit of a nervous wreck. I'm waiting for my bid on it home to come back, and if it gets approved, I'm certainly not going to smoke that Casa Terrano. I'm going to smoke something, a special occasion cigar, which would probably either be the Oliva Master Blends 1, which from what I understand is very difficult to find anymore, or it's going to be Padron Aniversario, either a 1964 or a 1926. Probably be the 1926, but yeah, everything's kind of up in the air right now. I will know more, hopefully by tomorrow, because this the suspense is killing me. I'm really looking forward to getting the information back on this home. So unfortunately, I got outbid on the first home I placed a bid on. I just didn't think it was worth anywhere near as much as they wanted for the home, and my bid was kind of low, and someone obviously thought it was worth more. But actually, it turned out to be a good thing, because this house I got a bid on now is just, I fell in love with the place. I love it. So really hoping that I really hope I get a call from my realtor tomorrow with some good news. So, and if I do get that good news, it's definitely going to be either that Oliva Master Blends 1 or that Padron 1926. So sorry I can't give you a definite for next week. And if I get bad news, well, I guess it's going to be that Casa Terrano, because I got nothing to celebrate. So anyway, there it is. Once again, definitely recommend the Oliva Series G Cameroon, and hopefully you'll pick one up and feel the same way. So happy smoking, and I will see you next week.